NFL football star Jon Runyan is making a leap from the gridiron to the world of politics. Runyan, a Republican, is running for Congress in New Jersey. Jon Runyan joins us live. Good evening, sir. And why is it that you want to go from one contact sport to another contact sport, politics?
Well, I think it's a smooth transition. There's a lot of similarities between the two, but I really believe we need to make some changes because the way we're headed right now is not in a good direction.
What's sort of interesting, your Democratic congressman, the incumbent in your district right now, voted no as a Democrat on health care. So what do you say about that?
Well, I think when you go back and you look at Mr. Adler's voting record throughout his stint in the New Jersey State Legislature, he's very, very liberal in his votes, and it's getting to a point now where I think he's realized that his career as a congressman is in jeopardy, and he's trying to he's trying to vote as his constituents would be. This being a traditionally Republican district, he's trying to match that up in an effort to save his job.
Now you have a primary first, a primary contest. How do you distinguish yourself from your competitor in the primary within your same party?
Well, I think it's just a big thing of being yourself and going out and taking care of your business. I relate that back to a lot of things I experienced in the NFL. You don't worry about your opponent all the time. You do what you can do. You put your work in. You put your beliefs out there, and then ultimately the voters are going to make the decision. You don't really have to worry about it.
Do you have any concern or worry that the Tea Party movement in any way is going to create, an issue for the Republican Party nationally for the midterm election?
Well, I think when you look at the Tea Party in general, we both have very conservative values. No matter where you are on the spectrum, you're going to agree and disagree on certain things. But I think the biggest thing is where I come from and my stance on anything is take a lot of common sense. Special interests are getting in the way, and I think that's really what a lot of people are upset about. And if you sit back and you keep the doors open and don't slam them shut with special interests, just allow people to have conversations, I think that's what a lot of people are looking to go.
All right, now what's the story about Donovan McNabb? You played with him with the Eagles. Why the Redskins? What's that going to do for the Redskins, and what's that going to do to the Eagles?
Well, I think the Eagles were in a unique situation where they actually had 3 starting quarterbacks on the roster, so they were able to shop, each one individually, and it ultimately ended up being Donovan going to Washington, which surprised a lot of people around here, especially the fact that they're playing in the division twice a year. So it's going to be an interesting thing. They have traditionally in Washington, they have a great defense. If they can come out and put together some put together some scoring drives and put points on the board, they're a very formidable team here in the NFC East.
It's a little bit like having Donovan McNabb go from the Eagles to the Redskins because it's the same. They're going to play against each other. It's a little bit like Brett Favre going from the Packers to the Vikings. They're both incredible rivalries. Now they've not lost or given away, or however you want to describe it, their quarterbacks.
Yeah, but minus the I want to play, I want to retire, I want to play, I want to retire fiasco.
But certainly it doesn't have that. So in terms of everything you've learned as a lineman in football, how's that going to help you be a better congressman, or is that just a different chapter in your life?
Well, I think there's a lot of similarities. I always step back and look at my background in playing team sports my whole life and taking that approach into Congress. It's not about me going and feeding my ego going to Congress. I'm here to take the team concept, listen to what the constituents have to say, and take that as a leader to D.C. and get changes made. It's not about keeping your political job, making it run an extended run in office. It's about going down there and making some positive changes.
All right, well, we're going to be watching your race because it's going to be an exciting one, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Next, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid goes on the record. How does he explain the so-called